Right, so we have details regarding the M2 chip being based on a 4nm process, and so let's delve into it, but first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours, and with that being said, let's just talk in. So this report comes from Digitimes, and they're known to not be a credible source, and so yes, do take this with a grain of salt. But essentially, they believe TSMC's new 4nm process is what the foundation's gonna be for these M2 chips, launching later in the year with new Macs. Now, the latter part of that sentence regarding the release is the only thing that makes sense because, yes, we are expecting a WWDC release at the earliest and an October release at the latest for these M2 Macs. However, the main tidbit regarding the 4nm process makes no sense in my opinion and does go against many other sources. I mean, for example, Mark Gurman, one of the most credible sources on the planet when it comes to Apple leaks, he told us the M2 chip would be based on the A15. And this does make sense because the M1 is based on A14 cores, and so the successor to the M1 chip should get A15 cores. And since A15 is based on the 5nm plus process, I do expect the same with the M2 chip. But there are other reasons why I think a 4nm process makes no sense. The first one is of course a chip shortage. I'm sure Apple's still having supply constraints with their chips, and so I do think it's in Apple's best interest to have as much stock of these Macs when they do launch, and so sticking to the tried and tested 5nm plus process is the right move. But also, if we do see these M2 Max launch at WWDC like some rumours have suggested, the A16 chip would not be out, and I'm sure that Apple's not going to release a chip based on A16 cores before the release of the A16 chip, and so yes, once again, I do think the M2 being based on the A15 makes the most sense. And yes, I know that by the time we do see all the M2 Max release, it's going to be 2023 and we're going to see the A17 chip that could be based on a much newer 3nm process, and so shouldn't Apple jump on 4nm right now and stay ahead of the curve? Well, yes, that is a fair point to be fair, but do remember the chip shortage can push back new chip processes Apple wants to use, and so I would not be surprised if the A17 chip is again based on the 4nm process, much like the A14 and the A15 are both 5nm. And really, I don't think the difference between a 5nm and 4nm chip is going to be that massive, and so yes, I don't think we have much to lose by Apple sticking to A15 cores. And again, much like I said, I'd much rather have a large surplus of these M2 Max than have 4nm chips that are always out of stock. So yeah, those are my thoughts guys, but tell me your thoughts. Do you think the M2 chip is going to be based on the 4nm process or not? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video link above on details regarding Apple's VR headset, and on that note I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps.